Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the situation near Dessie and Kombolcha. And as I had talked about before, several weeks ago, as the Tigrayan Defense Forces were encircling Dessie and Kombolcha, and even myself, I was under the impression that this would be a fairly lengthy operation and take a significant amount of time, possibly weeks, to fully seize control of one, if not both, of these fairly large, significantly important towns and cities. But recently, there has been some concerns, especially on the part of Abiy Ahmed and the Prosperity Party and the military leadership in Addis Ababa, also known as Finfinne, in the context that the Tigrayan Defense Forces were taking certain assets that existed inside of the town. And that could be anything from fuel to the equipment inside of machine shops to a host of other multi-purpose and even food that was stored near Dessie and Kombolcha. And I wanted to have a look at that and address that. Well, if we go back to the original occupation of the Tigray region, and it has been reported that Eritrean forces and the forces of the Abiy loyalist regime raided Mekelle University, and basically everything that wasn't bolted down was taken and either transported to Eritrea or transported back to the Amhara region as war loot. And that actually occurred. And then not only that, the other issues that have happened inside of the Tigray region, both humanitarian and the rape and stealing of large treasure within the Tigray region, and it's a wide ranging issue in terms of just how much was taken from the Tigray region during that period of occupation. Now, if you consider the fact that we are now what could be defined as a total war. Right now, the Tigray region is in a fight for its very survival, with the Anaconda strategy being implemented by both the despotic regime of Isaias Afwerki in Eritrea and the Prosperity Party under the leadership of the Abiy Ahmed regime is also instituting very draconian measures to prevent the supply of the Tigray region. So when you seize an objective, again, two large towns such as Dessie and Kombolcha, and you have positive control over those towns, and there is a possibility of a counteroffensive where you could at some point lose control of those towns, and based upon what has happened in the Tigray region in terms of the pillaging of resources, and again, a wide array of resources, both human resources and physical resources, machinery, supplies, tools, just anything and everything that was taken from Mekelle, taken from different areas of the Tigray region. Quite frankly, I would not be surprised if the Tigrayan Defense Forces didn't take anything that was not bolted down inside of Kombolcha and Dessie and take it back to the Tigray region for possible repurpose. And that would be completely reasonable given what is happening on the ground, given the facts on the ground, given what is happening inside of this war, given the nature of what occurred in the Tigray region. The basic premise of an eye for an eye is very much alive. And unfortunately for the Tigray region, they've been put in a predicament where they are forced to do certain things now. And one of those certain things is probably going to be to remove resources. Some of these resources may have actually come from the Tigray region at one point, but in all probability, they are going to take resources and assets and transport those resources and assets back to the Tigray region. Again, some of those resources can be used in the continued and ongoing fighting. This is, again, probably going to be a very protracted war, a very protracted civil war, both with the Oromo Liberation Army and the Tigrayan Defense Forces and other groups in the former state of Ethiopia. So it would be reasonable that you have large industrial parks, you have things, you have items of military significance that could be taken and, one, be utilized by the Tigrayan Defense Forces, by the Tigray region, and that would also disallow those items to be used by the Abiy Ahmed regime. So again, in all likelihood, yes, quite a bit of items are going to be removed from Dessie, from Kombolcha, if the Tigray region needs them, given the fact that what has occurred in the past. Again, the war was not initiated by the Tigray region. That is 100% fact. We know the Eritrean army, we know the Ethiopian National Defense Forces behaved rather unethically in the Tigray region. We know there were systematic killings, rapes, and more importantly, well, not more importantly, I stand corrected on that. Again, the pillaging that occurred inside of the Tigray region in terms of just a whole host of equipment and things that are needed for a nation state to continue on were taken from the Tigray region. And again, I know there's concern about the possibility that the Tigrayan Defense Forces are going to remove things of value, things that may be needed in the Tigray region from Dessie and Kombolcha. And I can tell you that is absolutely going to happen. Again, if you look at the nature of this conflict, there is no other option. There is no other choice, especially when you have this anaconda strategy in place. Then obviously things are going to, resources that are needed are going to be removed from the conquered areas and transported back to the home region. It is indicative of warfare. It has happened throughout the centuries and millennia within the context of warfare, and this situation is no different. Again, is the Tigrayan Defense Forces going to withdraw from Dessie and Kombolcha? Are we seeing that at this moment? Again, it is unknown. Only the battlefield commanders on the ground know what actually is going to happen. Right now, Dessie and Kombolcha are still under the control of the Tigrayan Defense Forces, and as long as that status quo remains, we will report that. Again, I will not report that, as was reported a few days ago, that the Tigrayan Defense Forces were packing up and leaving, because, quite frankly, that did not occur. They are still there. Anyway, more to come very soon. Have a great day, everybody.